Hello, Donna.
Hello, Genevra.
You still can't say my name right.
Did,
Bless you.
did I not say your name right?
Yeah, I think you were
Genevra.
the last. No,
Genevra.
Genevra.
Gen-
Genevra.
Genevra. That's what I
Do you
said.
want me to?
I don't.
Oh,
I'm
bless
not
you.
enunciating. I don't enunciate very well.
Do you
Genevra.
want me to? Should I edit this part out?
Genevra.
Okay, ready?
Genevra.
Yeah, like that.
Genevra. Genevra.
Genevra. Yeah. So you miss. I think you miss a syllable when you say
Genevra.
my. But you know what? A lot of people say it
When
the
I say
same
it
way.
fast, I think I miss the V. Genevra.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
lose
Yeah.
the V if I have my Jersey accent. Genevra. Genevra.
Jersey accent. I'm with
Whatever you
my
want.
friend
You
Donna. Wait. Do you want me to edit that part out, or is this
uh,
part of the interview?
whatever you want. You just
I think it's quirky. Alright, let's
try
just
try
do
my name now. Try my name.
Hello, Donna Spatidol.
God,
My friend Donna. My free as a bird artist friend Donna from the US East Coast. And apparently 7 is your lucky number.
I noticed that 7 was my lucky number, is my lucky number.
Is it? Because
I
I threw that in because this is episode 7.
I
So,
knew that. I saw that when I was like I was listening to your and I was like, "Ooh, if she doesn't squeeze one in between, I'm lucky number 7." I like that.
thank you for saying yes to being interviewed today.
Thank you for
Appreciate
asking
it.
me. Yeah, absolutely. Scary and exciting at the same time.
So, if you want to see the video version of Donna and I, we're also on YouTube. So, you can head to YouTube and just search on Better Loud Than Too Late or at I Am Genevra. And that way you can watch the video version of this interview. So I think I said before that you're an artist,
Right.
and obviously, I want to get into your art journey. But before we do that, how would you describe your artistic style?
Oh gosh, that's a loaded question. My artistic style now is quite different than my artistic style when I first started my art journey, which was in high school. So my style then was find a pretty picture and copy it. And if you copied it perfectly, then you're an artist and then it can be displayed. But as I matured and only recently, probably in the last 5 years, and lots of things led up to that, but um, now my art is more intuitive. So I basically paint what I feel rather than what I say. So I've totally kind of shifted how I do that and given myself permission to do that because I definitely was trying to follow the rules of what artists are supposed to do. And
Mm,
that was, yeah. So now I'm just my art is I usually start with a blank canvas and I journal or set an intention or a prayer on my canvas and then I paint over that. And 9 times out of 10 it disappears. Sometimes some of it will come through and so but it's not the point of it isn't so that it comes through, it's just to set an intention and to kind of like clear any space that I might have in my head or my heart and just go from there. So totally
mhm,
different than where I was 40 years ago.
mm. Okay. And so what are some of your recent challenges as an artist?
Oh gosh, recent challenges as an artist. Accepting that I am an artist is a huge challenge because that even saying like I haven't only have recently been able to say like those words that I'm an artist because it I think the generation where at, at least the way I was raised and the generation I think my generation was you had to be told by somebody else you were an artist and I don't believe that anymore. I believe that everybody's an artist, and if you wanna call yourself an artist, you can call yourself an artist.
Mhm. And is that a bit about imposter syndrome, or is that more about income? Like you know, if you're not paying your bills as an artist, then you're a bit reluctant about labeling yourself as
Uh,
one.
Probably a little bit of both.
Mhm.
Imposter syndrome and a little bit of, yeah, because when I wanted to pursue the arts, uh, when I was going to college, it was, you can't make a living, start the whole starving artist. So I definitely, um, chose a safer path when after I graduated college. I chose to get into the graphic arts and become an art director and go that route rather than be a starving artist. And so I played it safe basically for 40 years. Yeah.
Hmm. Yes,
Yeah,
I
and
do
and
hear
I
you
felt
there.
that. Yeah, I really felt in all the positions I had that I was just kind of doing what society told me I should do,
Mhm.
and that's what.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 So, no, you and I have never met, like, which is a total tragedy in itself because it feels like we met.
Absolutely.
Um, and let's talk about how we connected. So we
Yeah,
did a business course, see me? Business course together. Um, it was pretty much a how to find your thing and make money from it course, wasn't it?
yeah.
Is that how it was sold to
Yeah, that's,
us?
yeah, definitely yeah, find your thing for sure. Yep.
Mhm. Now, that ended up being a pretty expensive course for me. Did you find it worthwhile for you?
Um, I agree that it was expensive, like the most expensive besides for me college. I know you guys don't call it college. What do you call it? You call it
University or yeah,
university. Yeah.
yeah.
So college here in the States, we call it college, even though you're at a university a lot of the times. But um, so besides college slash university, it was the most expensive thing I did after that, and that's many years. I mean, yeah. So it was a huge investment, and I just felt like it was something I was supposed to do. Like when I made the decision to do it, I don't even know how I found it. Probably like you, it like just kind of appeared when it was supposed to. So I found it beneficial because of a couple of things. The friendships that I've made are to me like priceless. And I remember saying that very early on, probably week 3, and what was it, like a 12, it was 12 weeks, right? It was
Mm,
all summer, like
mhm,
2 summers ago, and I remember reaching out to the person running the course, which I don't know if we wanna talk about that, but that's okay, and I just told her that it was worth every penny for the people that I've met. Like, to me, that's price.
mhm,
You can't put a price on that, and then, I got courage to, I mean, she definitely gave me permission to do things messy, which I'm
mhm.
a perfectionist, so doing things messy wasn't even like, I hadn't even ever heard of that. That was like, "Don't do it unless it's perfect," is the way I was raised, for sure.
You're probably right. I don't think I really heard that phrase as often as I did until I did that course, and I just wanna quickly say that that must have, um I guess it's kind of a philosophy, but you really took that on because you always because I'm a perfectionist too, and you've always been one to remind me when I'm getting in that zone and I'm, like, obsessing over details, you will always say to me, like, "Hey, what happened to doing it messy?" So, I always
Yeah,
get that from you, which is great. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That was probably the biggest lesson, because I wouldn't have, like, when I started that course, I did not share my art on social media, rarely.
Mm.
Like, I it had to be like, "Here's my beautiful masterpiece," before I shared it on social media. So, up to that point, maybe I shared, like, I don't know, 5 or 10 times in like a few years
Mhm.
because I just didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel I was worthy. I didn't feel my artwork was worthy.
Mhm.
And she gave me the courage to, I wouldn't be where I am with my art and with sharing my art. I wouldn't be where I am. That's the biggest gift. If I don't like to me, the money that made it worth the money to have the courage to say that I am an artist and it doesn't have to be perfect and that it's the world needs it. Like I'm
Mhm.
worthy of that.
Mhm.
And I didn't have that message from teachers or family members, growing up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think what I mainly got out of it was just that the reinforcement of just trying anything and everything like fearlessly,
Yeah.
but then just paying attention to what brings me joy.
Yeah.
Like I think that was it was more like a reinforcement. Some of it, you know it already, but you just need to pay a lot of money to hear someone tell you
Yeah. Yeah.
to tell you that. So that's why it was a reinforcement for me. But, just on that, the course got us doing like different and out of your comfort zone things on social media, especially.
Yeah, I
Um,
definitely wouldn't have shared, like, lives or other things that I did on social media.
yeah,
And that's
yeah,
that's
and like,
kinda how you and I met, like, not met, but connected more when you did your bocce lives, which I loved, right?
yeah.
That
Thank you.
was
Yeah, when I was going on live on Instagram and
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, the chocolate
we knew
quotes.
of each other, but that's when I, like, fell in love with you, and I was like, she's so adorable," and I loved it. I loved I looked forward to it.
You were, like, my biggest supporter. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And, um, I remember the moment I fell in love with you, Donna. It was the peanut butter video. Do you wanna tell us what you said
That
in that video?
yeah, I probably, yeah, that was the peanut butter and jelly video, which it was and I did that video because of the course that we took together because we were supposed to, I think, like, do a live maybe I'm not sure how often, but I don't know, once a week or something in that particular week that we were in the course. I think we were supposed to go live so many times, and it was scary for me to go live on Instagram. Like, I'd rather stick needles in my eyes, like, it makes you wanna kinda throw up. But, but I did. I think I went out in my studio and I just told a story about, after my husband passed away. I'm a widow and he passed away. It was just 20 years ago. And so this was probably 2 years ago when I did the live, but it was just telling the story about, after he passed and how I struggled to get out of bed every day. And how, um, the thing that got me out of bed was that I had to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for my kids, and it was just like, "Okay, get up, make the PB&Js, and do the best you can." And so, peanut butter and jelly was something that, like, helped me through my grief and nourished my kids at the same time.
Yeah, you were in the studio, so, I could see you in your surroundings, and you had the whole artist thing going on, so that helped
Yeah.
being able to place you and your environment in my mind,
Yep.
but it was just your smile and, like, obviously the words, it just opened up my heart because 'cause you've got this infectious smile that just lights up the screen. It's just the most beautiful thing.
Aw, thank you.
So, very
Thank you.
sweet. So, yeah, and then like you said, we were doing weird and wonderful things on social media, and you had like a dancing series
I did
as
have a
well.
I did do a Saturday morning dancing series, which was part of that. That was doing something scary again, something that I like to dance, but I wouldn't necessarily dance on social media, but I saw someone else do it who encouraged me. Not encouraged me, it was someone I didn't even know, but I saw him doing it and I was like, "Well, I wanna do that. Like, why can't I do that?" So I started doing Saturday morning dance videos. And yeah, it was freeing, it was liberating. I'm just at an age where it doesn't matter if people think you're crazy, because I already know that I'm crazy and I'm weird. So why not have fun? And so I just started doing it. And the songs were never premeditated. Like, I didn't like look for song. I would just wake up that day and either a song would come on, you know,
Mm.
my phone, or I would think of a song, or there was, and it would just present itself that way. So it wasn't premeditated.
I
Um
looked forward to those videos. They were
yeah.
like, I mean, sometimes your choice of music was questionable, but that's okay. Wasn't about the music. It was
Yeah.
more about, "Oh, what's Donna gonna wear today?" No, I'm only joking.
Yeah, yeah.
It was just, and 'cause you had different moods as well. Sometimes I could tell from the way
Yeah.
you were dancing. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Ah, Donna's in that kind of mood."
Sometimes I was cranky and I didn't wanna do it, and that was and I would force myself to do it, and I always felt better after. You always feel better after you move your body. So, yeah,
Yeah,
might
yeah,
have to start
yeah.
that again, but yeah. Yeah, it was fun. And you
And,
guys kept me accountable. I feel like I there were certain
mm,
people who were like, "Wait a minute, it's like past 12:30. Where's the morning video?" So it was kind of fun to have that accountability. I live on my own, so it was a way to connect. I mean, I think social media has some like great there's some like we wouldn't have met if it weren't for social media. So as much as
totally.
sometimes it gets a bad rap, there's some good things, and it connected me to people that live really far away, like you in Australia, that I wouldn't connect with.
I tried I was inspired. I'm like, "You know what? I'm gonna try it." And I set up
Yeah.
the phone on a, tripod, and I did one, I recorded it, and then I just looked at myself and went, "You're a fucking idiot. This isn't going anywhere."
Yeah.
Did not work for me.
And I would 9 times out of 10 do one take too, because if you look at it, you're not gonna post. So I would not think, and I would hit post, and I'd walk away, you know? So and that's kinda how I am with my artwork too, is I don't I don't judge it. I have a beautiful friend who I met on social media, who's an artist, who taught me to love my art like I love myself. I think before I was taught to judge. I think we're, as artists and musicians and anyone in the arts, as people, we judge ourselves and we judge our art. And she taught me to treat my art like myself or like my children, and you wouldn't, be nasty to your children. So I used to just walk into my studio before this shift, and I would be, like, oh god, like that's ridiculous and whatever. I would just judge it. I would be nasty to it. And I started walking into my studio and just sending love. I would like, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful, you look great today, I'm going to work on you later, and just like talk to it like it's a breathing, living thing,
Mhm,
and kind of maybe like
mhm.
people talk to their plants. So it was a shift for
I
me
love
to
that,
be kind to my art, and it has helped. Yeah.
yeah. It's a couple of episodes ago, I chatted to my friend Bridget, who's the end of life
Yeah.
doula,
Yeah.
and we spoke about grief, and, um, you gave me your thoughts on that episode, which I really appreciated, and I was thinking about you when we were talking
Mm.
about grief, and, like, what are some ways that, your grieving process, how has it impacted new connections for you that you've made? All kinds of, whether it's, friendships, relationships, family, yeah, what does the impact look like for you?
Oh gosh, that's a tough one, my friend. It's interesting because I don't feel like grief ever ends, and I'm more accepting of that as I've been in this grieving process for 20 years. And people kind of, I think they forget about it. I think they forget about it and it's not talked about. I think what I've learned through grief is um, I connect more with people who are going through grief now that I have gone through grief. So my connections have come through that, because before I went through this, um, you don't know. It's like you don't know what it's like to be a mother until you're a mother. You just can't tell somebody what it's like to be a mother, and you can't tell somebody what it's like to go through grief after losing someone. Um, anyway, I mean, my loss was a sudden loss. It was a car accident for my late husband, so it was sudden, and you think it's going to get easier, and actually, sometimes it gets harder, especially when there's children involved, and they go through milestones that you wish that, their father was here to see them go through. My daughter recently got engaged, and, that's a tough one. It's a tough one because I know she thinks about it. I know she thinks about her dad being there for her to walk her down the aisle. So I'm
Yeah.
noticing that I'm grieving now, and I think for a lot of reasons, like with the kids, when things happen and there's monumental things or life-changing things, like, and I feel like because of this transition in my life of moving, um, I'm grieving not having the partner here that we probably would have dreamed of, like doing this together. So as much as this journey that I'm on has been a journey on my own for a long time, I'm still grieving, like, not having a partner here to do it with. And
Mm,
so I think about, like, what it would have been like, even though it's been 20 years, just grief just comes up. It comes up so unexpectedly. And for me, I feel like it's got layers. Like, I find when someone else is going through their grief, it brings up my grief, and it just adds another layer to it that you think that it's going to end, and it just doesn't end. It just gets more layers added to it.
mm,
So
mm.
yeah, I just have more empathy for people, and I will reach out to people who have lost someone. Um, I usually wait. That's what I learned, because when you lose someone, it doesn't matter if it's sudden or not sudden. If it's a long illness, usually you're in shock for quite a bit of time. So I find that if you wait a couple of weeks or sometimes even a couple of months and you reach out to them, it's uh, the timing is always, I trust the timing of when I'm supposed to reach out, but I usually wait a little bit, and reach out to them either by phone or a call or a text or a card. And I just have a lot of empathy. I have a lot of empathy. It's been hard. It hasn't been easy. And
In those moments, does if you notice that grief is like a common denominator in meeting new people, is that um, are you more likely to connect with that person, or are you more likely to pull away because you're being triggered?
no, I think it's definitely easier to connect with somebody. Yeah, it doesn't make me pull away. I think that I've, actually connected with a lot of, friends that are either grieving, but also in dating relationships. I find it much easier, because they understand. And if you talk about them, they understand, and you can allow them to talk about the person that's not here anymore. So I actually prefer on a dating to be dating someone who is a widow as well, because they're more understanding. So yeah,
Mm,
I definitely would not shy away from that. I think
mm.
yeah, definitely understand.
Are we advertising or?
I thought we were going to do that at the end. Big long advertisement.
I
don't,
wanted to.
don't know if
This
that
is prob
answered your question or not, but
No, no. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
that's your answer, and it
yeah,
brought up a couple of sub questions in my mind, which is
yeah,
great. Okay, so you mentioned about your daughter. I think it's a good time to say that your kids live in different cities, and I mean, I'll probably have to go through that one day, but right now I can't imagine it
yeah.
as a mother. So, what's that like for you?
Oh gosh, My old boss told me, uh, I don't know, 10 or 12 years ago when we were looking at colleges, you have to give them, and he's 15 years younger than me, so his kids were little, and he was like, "You have to give them a 3-hour radius." And I did not listen to him. I didn't listen because I wasn't able to go where I wanted to go to college. So I wanted to, if I was able, I wanted to give my kids an opportunity to see another part of the world. I thought if you're going to be somewhere for 4 years, you might as well be somewhere you have never seen before, or somewhere that you've wanted to see, and you're going to spend 4 years there. So I just thought it was an opportunity, if it was possible, to be able to let them go somewhere different. So my daughter chose California, and I probably showed her 22 schools on the East Coast, which is where we're from, and hoping that she would stay on the East Coast. But she, of course, chose California. So I knew immediately when we stepped on the campus that she was going to, before she even made her decision, it was down to an East Coast school and a West Coast school. And I knew once we stepped on that West Coast school that she was going to go there. And then I figured she would come back because she loves the city. She loves New York City. I said, she'll get it out of her system and she'll come back after 4 years. And of course, she didn't. And she stayed out there and she moved to another city. And then she fell in love. And then they moved to another city. So they're in San Diego now. And yeah, it's hard. It's hard. That's grief for me too. Every time I either go out there and see them and then I have to leave, or they come here and see me and they have to leave. It's, yeah, I grieve. I
Mm,
I mean, it's definitely a grief, and now my son he's out there. He's been out there for a year or 2, and, it's not easy, but I it's the choice I made to allow them to do that, and I don't regret it because it's she loves the West Coast. She loves it, and it's yeah, but it's not easy.
mm. Okay. Thank you for
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you for
I don't
sharing
know if I
that.
can recommend give them a 3-hour radius.
Okay. So let's go back to the beginning. Why did you
Very
choose art?
beginning.
Why did you choose art?
Why did I choose art?
Mm,
I don't think I chose it. I think art chooses you. I think art chooses you.
mhm.
Yeah.
I'm
Um,
smiling because yeah, I know
yeah.
exactly what
You
you
know
mean.
you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Because I didn't get to choose art. Like, that wasn't a choice. I didn't have that choice. I feel like I was stripped of that choice when I listened to teachers and parents, and I didn't choose it. But like I said, I ended up in careers that were super creative. I felt like I was surrounded by artists all the time. I ended up in, like, just like I said, graphic artists and art direct positions where we were creative, but it was kind of in a box. Like, you had to follow the rules in that too. So it was safe and you could make a good living. Yeah, I played it safe until art chose me and said, okay, you came kind of screaming at my door like, it's now or never. And that really came from the course that we took. It came from that. Like, we like you said, the course was about trying to find what you're passionate about, what you're kind of made to do. So I
Mhm.
just felt like if I don't give art a chance, I'll never know. So I started
Are
to.
you sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
Are you saying that art chose you twice though? Because obviously you had the thoughts in the beginning, "Oh, hey, this looks good." And then you said you played it safe, and
Mhm.
then it came knocking on your door again around, through the course. So
Yeah. Yeah.
art has chosen you a couple times or
Yeah.
more,
I would say,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. And did you always receive positive encouragement from the start?
No. I don't think I did not ever receive positive encouragement. Maybe when I was, I have one memory of positive encouragement when I was in 3rd grade, and I did a beautiful poinsettia, and it got stuck up on the wall, and I got the picture with the principal. I remember
Ah,
that, and I have the picture, and it was a black and
oh,
white
do
picture,
you?
and I was so proud of. Yeah, I should have dug it out for you, but it's in storage somewhere,
Ah,
so
if
but
you find it, could you send it to me and
I
then,
definitely couldn't send it to you because it's in storage. 'Cause I'm, I'm kinda
Oh,
living out of, very
yeah, yeah,
limited, but, yeah, that was I remember that feeling of being proud of that at such a young
mm.
age, but then that got like I said, I had, teachers and that did not give me positive reinforcement, so I just
You've got a story there, haven't you? So I'm waiting for this story, or if you wanna
yeah.
share it.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was when I was learning that I actually had some talent, and the talent was you know, based on copying, based on here's a picture, copy it. And I was really good at that. Um, in my opinion, I was really good at it, but um, it was high school and I wanted to go to art school. And my art teacher at the time, when I look back, because I know how artists can be, I think that not all artists feel that we can encourage and lift each other up, and that when one artist wins, we all win. I think there's a lot of competition in, and when I look back in hindsight, I mean, this teacher was only a few years older than me because when you're a junior, senior in high school, and the teacher's only in his 20s, um, yeah, I don't think they want you to succeed. I think that insecure people will not encourage people, and I think he did not want me to succeed, and he shared with my mother that be I wouldn't make it in art school, and I wouldn't get into art school. So, and that was told to me by my mother, which as a mother, as you know, you probably wouldn't do that to your child. But that was done, and so I just at that point said, okay, two people, he chose to tell my mother, and my mother chose to tell me, and I guess I'm not good enough because those two people told me I wasn't. So I did not pursue
Wow,
going to art school. I did major in art. I did, but I wanted to go to art school. I wanted to go to, Fashion Institute in New York. I wanted to go to Pittsburgh. There were a couple art schools that I really wanted to go to.
mm,
So I to prove them all wrong, I did end up going to Pratt, which is a prestigious art school in New York City, to get my master's. And just to get into Pratt, this was probably 10 years ago. So yeah, I wanted to go back and get my art therapy degree, which I ended up not finishing it. But just the fact that I got into Pratt was like, yeah, pretty exciting. So,
that's really awesome.
yeah, it was great. It was, you do things for different reasons. That was more a fuck you, like I can do it. That was, there's those reasons, like you do it for some people become doctors because they lost someone, and some people do a fuck you, and that was kind of a fuck you to the people who told me I wasn't good enough.
Is it on the cards to finish that degree, or it doesn't matter now?
In hindsight, when I was going to school, both of my kids were in college at the time. And I just got to this point where like, what the hell do you think you're doing with two in college and you getting your master's? And it was a 2-year program and I finished the first year. So in hindsight, I really wish I finished. I do wish I finished. But halfway through, I realized I didn't want to be an art therapist. I wanted to be an artist. So again, I felt like I was playing it safe by going to get my degree in art therapy because I thought I would be respected. So I
Mm,
was still down that path of if I get this degree and I have my master's, I'm going to be respected and I can get a job in the art field. But I'm still not an artist. I'm an art therapist. So that
mm.
was really the main reason that I did not finish. But I still kind of wish I had that. I wish I had that degree. There's still something about a degree, but I have to
Mm.
get over that. I don't think I'll go back and finish. Never say never.
Have you got have you got the option, or is it like once you hit that deferment period, you can't.
I probably couldn't. Yeah, I probably would lose. I probably would keep some credits, but it wouldn't be. Yeah, I might have to start over. I haven't looked into it. I don't think it's my path. I feel like the way that I do art is already therapy for me, and if people come into my life
Mm,
and they do art with me, it's therapeutic, and
mhm,
yeah, so I have had that
yeah.
I've had that experience with, sharing my art in a therapeutic way, that I don't need that degree to do it, in my opinion. So, yeah.
Can we pause
There
there for a
for a Yeah. moment.
moment and just go back because I love details, and I started to really picture this 20-something art teacher
Yeah,
that told you no,
yeah.
and, like, I'm dying for did he ever say why? Did he just was just like a flat out, "She'll never make it in art school," or did he actually give specifics? I don't even think this matters, but
Yeah, yeah. You know what's funny is I think I was so hurt at the time that he would say that. I really liked him, and I felt like our school was a small school and there were only a handful of artists, and there were a handful of us that I felt like we were all good in our own way, like we were all, you know, doing the assignments the way we were supposed to do them. So, um yeah, I don't remember the details. I feel like I would have to ask my mother again, and she probably wouldn't remember either. But I would just remember I was so hurt. Um, I wish, I mean, there's always the part of me that wants to like kind of find him, you know? I mean, he was a nice guy, but just kind of find him and say, "You know what? It was kind of shitty of you."
Mm,
That's when you realize just one thing. I mean, it was just one thing. I could have gone the other way. I could have gone the other way, and some people do, and been like, "Screw you, I'm gonna prove you wrong." But I wasn't
mhm,
confident. I mean, if it happened today, that's what I would do. But I wasn't confident enough. If my mom had said, like, "This is what he said, but we believe in you," like, we believe that you could do it, and if you wanna do it, go for it, but I didn't have that either. I had the scarcity. "Well, he's right. You're not
mhm.
gonna make a living.
Gosh,
Maybe you
I'm
should be a
hurting.
nurse."
Oh, man, seriously, I'm
But,
upset. I'm upset.
you have children, you just would never, ever
Um,
say that, and that's
mm,
why I gave my kids such a, like, huge canvas for their life to do
mm,
whatever they wanna do. Like,
mhm,
I don't care what you say, what anybody says, you could do whatever you wanna do. Life is too
mm.
short to not do what you wanna do. So, that was a long lesson that, like, took a long time to learn that lesson, but
Mm.
yeah.
So just quickly, because you've mentioned a couple times when you hit an objective, when you wanna hit an objective, but what's driving you is the "fuck you, I'm gonna show you all." Like, now because I've definitely had that idea in my
Yeah,
mind a
yeah,
few times when I've wanted to go after something. But, as I read all the texts from Eckhart Tolle and the Peter Crones and the ego making decisions for you, that can and you hear about like, you read about people's successes, well, what was driving them was the "fuck you, I'll show you."
yeah,
Like, people do have great success but when that's their drive. Are they happy afterwards? It's probably another story,
right,
but
agree.
n
Yeah,
now I know that it actually can be one of the worst reasons behind wanting to
right.
achieve an objective. Um, I just wanted to say that because that was just came through my mind when you were talking before. We're gonna get to Peter Crone like,
Yeah, I was just
soon.
gonna say, because of Peter Crone, I just know that I yeah, from what I agree with you that I think if it's the "fuck you" reason for doing something to prove them, who knows? I mean, it can end up being a perfect match of what they do with their life. And it also can be, 40 years down the road, I did this for the wrong reasons. And there has to be a
Mhm,
shift. But because of Peter Crone, I believe that we are exactly where we're supposed to be. And that's
mhm,
was my biggest lesson from Peter Crone is everything happens the way it did, because if it didn't, it wouldn't have.
Mm.
And I probably
Yeah.
botched that a little bit, but he's got a bunch of, like, really good one-liners that it happened the way it did because it did, and it
Mhm.
didn't happen any other way. And
Yeah.
so if you just use that as your guideline for everything, relationships and jobs, and it's the way it happened, and it
Mhm.
makes us the way it makes me the way I am, and yeah, it's life lessons.
The first time I heard him say that, I don't
Mhm.
know if you have you seen the video where he's talking to Kerwin Ray and he's got the skin irritation?
No, no.
And it was turned out it was, like, the roots were from his parents' divorce or something to do with his parents' marriage, and once he acknowledged it, once Peter Crone said to him, "It happened that way because it happened," his skin started to clear up.
Yeah.
That's how I found Peter Crone, through that Kerwin Ray video, but, I wanna go back to that, but, just with what you were saying before about the art therapy and how, you know, you were having experiences where you share your art
Mhm,
with people and it's
mhm.
been therapeutic for you. You did have was it a young lady come and paint with you, and just quickly, how did that come about, and did you learn
Yeah, that was
anything from that?
through again, through the
Yes.
course that you and I did,
Oh,
because there
okay.
was a time when one of our assignments was to give away our, to do something for free, and I think we were supposed to do it for a period of time. Um, I think when you're first starting out, she encouraged us to do it for free. So I reached out to a young girl in my town that I knew. She used to work for me at the store that I managed, and I knew that she loved art. So I reached out to her. Her mom at the time, she was 15, and I said, I know that she's loves to paint, and I would love to have her come and paint with me. And so we set up a time, and she came. I think it was a Wednesday, and she was actually recovering. She had cancer when she was 4 years old, so she had was she's in remission and she's healthy, but she has some limitations. So I knew that art was something that she enjoyed, and so I invited her over, and she came, and um, I think she spent 2 hours with me the first time, and I said to her, if you want to come back next week, you can come back next week, and I drove her home. She was, like I said, at the time she was 15, so maybe she was 16, 15, 16. But anyway, I said to her mom, let me drive her home, because this way you don't know when we're going to end. If we're kind of flowing, when you're in the flow, you don't want to stop it. So I would drive her
Mm.
home. And the first time she came, when her mom texted me when she got home, and she said, to have a 15-year-old come home happy is like, it doesn't happen, especially for this girl. She said
Oh.
it doesn't happen. She said, I know that it's helping her. And so to me, that was like, wow, like, it was kind of life changing, just to know that, what a 15 and 16-year-olds are like, especially girls. You have two boys, so maybe you don't know what they're
Yeah, I've
like.
got a 15-year-old. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So she was, and she ended up coming back for almost a year every Wednesday. And I think it was something we were supposed to do for like a couple of
Uh,
weeks. But I just knew how much it was helping her. Um,
mhm,
and I wanted to keep doing it. And it was,
mm,
it helped me see that, first of all, I'm not a teacher, and I wasn't teaching her. She just liked to paint. We would start painting just the way I do for myself. I said to her, this is the way I do it. You can do it this way, or you don't have to. And, we would journal on our canvases before we started, and she enjoyed doing that. And we were sitting separately. So I said to her, I'm not going to see what you write. You're going to paint over it. Don't worry about it. And she would always write something, before, which it just like it filled my heart with so much joy, just to see her doing that and then painting over it. And she, like, time would fly. We'd play music sometimes we wouldn't. Sometimes we'd be outside if it was a nice day. Sometimes we'd be in my studio. Sometimes it was cold. We were in the basement. But it taught me a lot too. It taught me that how important it is to for the arts for healing. I mean, it was healing her. You know, she's yeah. So
Mm,
that's the part that when I look back on the art therapy, that's the part of it that I like because art
mhm,
is therapy. You know, we see it
mhm.
in the music and painting and all the arts are therapy, in my opinion.
Let's talk about your home,
Oh,
alright?
mhm.
Yeah,
Mm.
because it's no longer, and I can hardly believe it. Because you just to give a bit of background quickly, and it's not my background to tell, obviously,
Yeah.
but, um, you know, for me from my point of view,
Yeah.
'cause,
Yeah, you went through
uh
that with me.
and you were feeling so conflicted about whether to stay or whether to move on, and you had quite an interesting relationship with your home, and there's been a disaster or 2
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Do you wanna just quickly
Yeah,
go into
I'll give a Reader's Digest version just because it brings up too much anxiety for me, so I don't wanna dwell on it, but it was around the time of the course that we took together because I had felt this, you know, I had been in my home, I think, for about 6 years at the time, and I felt like it was time to move on. Like I moved to a new place. I moved to Cape Cod after when my kids both were in college. I felt like I needed a change. We were in the house that my husband and I raised them in, and I just felt like I was in that house for 20 years and I needed a change. And so I chose when they went to college to make this change. And I was there for about 6 years. And then I felt this energy that it was time to change again. And around that time was the time we were taking the course, and it was actually the graduation night. We had I don't know if you remember the graduation that we had for the
I
course.
do. I wasn't present for it, but yeah, I
Yeah.
remember.
Well,
Yeah.
I was supposed to be present. We were supposed to wear a crown. We were supposed to, you know, and I had this crown on my head and it was pretty and my house flooded that night. I had everything set up to be there, be part of the graduation, and I had a flood in my house as the graduation was happening. And long story short, there was some construction across the street or an empty lot, and the water came to my house and flooded my house that night. And it was devastating. It was so devastating because it kept happening. It just didn't happen once because of
Mm,
this new development house across the street from me. It changed the grade, and my house would just flood every time it rained. So I had, like I said, I had this urge to move, and then all of a sudden I couldn't because I had this to take care of. I didn't know what to do. I had so it was almost a year of kind of negotiating and arguing with builders and the town, and until they fixed it, and I could put my house on the market. So that's what I did about 6 months ago. I put my house on the market, maybe, I don't know, last October, I put my house on the market after everything was resolved and was ready to for a new adventure. And so
mm,
that's what I'm on right now. Yeah, it took a
yeah,
little longer for my house to sell because I had to disclose that what happened, and so it took a little
mm,
longer even in this crazy market, but it sold. And, I didn't know where I wanted to go next. I thought by the time my house sold, I might know, but I just knew that I was like felt that I needed a change. And then I still didn't know where I was going. So when I moved to Cape Cod, I knew I was moving to the Cape, but I hadn't bought a house or anything. So I stayed there for about 7 months just to make sure I liked it before I bought this house. But this move is different because I just knew it was time to move, but I didn't know where. So I'm kind of traveling and figuring it out along the way and trusting all the little breadcrumbs as I go. Yeah.
it just blows my mind because a lot of our conversations, the undertones there were it was like you were being held captive by your home, not in a
Yeah.
just you know what I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
like, just from the circumstances, and you really weren't sure what to do, and now you're, like, roaming the country, like, it's, uh I can't believe it. I still can't believe it, and it's so wild. And you got 2 dogs with you. You're doing it with 2
Yeah.
dogs, and how are they coping?
Okay. Well, they were where I lived was very a cool climate, and there was always a little ocean breeze. So we are in, I went from Cape Cod to Maine, which is pretty cool, which was fine, and then Vermont, which was fine, and then we kept going south to New Jersey, which was not so fine. I'm originally from New Jersey, so I have a lot of family still there. So that was, yeah, it's just about 10 to 12 degrees hotter where I've been traveling to. So the pups and I are not loving the heat. So I know that wherever I land has to be a little cooler. My body has adjusted to the coastal temperatures. So yeah, they're doing okay. Not as yeah, they're older, they're 12. When I moved to the Cape, they were only what? They were like 4 when I moved to the Cape. 8 years ago. So there, the adjustment there was easy. Now it's not as easy for them. So I'm considering them more than I wish I had to, as much as I love them. So I'm not as free bird as I would be if it were just me. I have to make sure
Mm,
the places I stay are pet friendly and the people I visit, are okay with pets. So it's been a little bit more of a glitch than I had hoped. But I'm just going to
mhm.
continue to trust that. Yeah, I'm going to trust that I'm being guided. Yeah.
In the way that you're connected to your art and, the way that you immerse yourself in the creativity, how important is the workspace? So how important has your home space um, been to you? Because, like, do you just need some basic tools, some good vibes, quiet space, and you're good to go? Or do you feel like a little bit detached because you're not in your beautiful studio, by the way,
Thanks.
because you're not
Yeah,
there?
thanks. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely have a list of requirements that I'm gonna want in my next space, and my last space was, like, magical. Like, I did not ask for I didn't ask for anything in the last space. I really just asked for a fireplace. That was, like, my big that's something that I really, really want is a fireplace, but on this, um yeah, there's a longer list that I hope to have, and, um yeah, the space definitely like the first couple of weeks without my studio, I just made a decision that I wasn't really going to do any art. Like I brought some really small drawing things with me um and I've used that, but after a couple of weeks I was like I need to paint. So the space I'm in now, I'm here for 2 weeks. So it's been a really nice space. It's got incredible vibes. I'm on a stream, like, you could probably almost hear it. That's how loud it is. Like, if you hear anything in the background, it's the stream because there's nothing else here. I'm in the woods with a stream. So
Which is perfect for your cold
it's
plunging.
magical for my cold plunging, and it's magical for creating. So, yeah, I had to make the decision in some of the places I visited, the energy, either the people I was with or the space I was in, I had to let go that I could not be creative. My space is super important to me. And I'm a homebody
Oh.
too, a super homebody. So like I said to my kids, like I might have to put fast forward on finding it and traveling. Not sure. I'm not sure, but I my space is super important to me. Yeah.
Sometimes when you publish your painting on Instagram, it's not necessarily the final work, and sometimes you paint over it. Um, does that happen a lot? And how do you know when something is completed?
It happens more often now. I would have never even thought about doing that, and maybe I saw another artist do it, and like I was like, I never even like I would just like because of my perfectionism, I wouldn't even think of like disrupting a painting once it's done. It's like that's it, it's done. But now I feel like sometimes they're done, and then sometimes because I treat them more like people, and they have more a mind of their own, and sometimes they'll speak to you and tell you that they're done, and sometimes they're not done. Um, Sometimes you get tired of them. It's like furniture, like rearranging furniture. I get bored pretty easily. So if I have been looking at a painting for a long time, if it hasn't sold, like there's a lot of things. If I did it in a time when I wasn't in a great space, so there's lots of different reasons. I'll look at it and go, you know what? I remember exactly how I felt when I painted that, and I want that memory to go away. So that could
Mm.
be a reason. So there's lots of reasons. Um, Financial reasons, canvases are super expensive. So right now I'm like trying to not, and they also take up room. I like to paint big. I used to paint really small and detailed, and now I paint big, use more of my body, but it's expensive. So, and they take up room. So I'm probably not going to like spend the money or have those big canvases that I'm traveling around with. So I have to
Mm.
limit it. But yeah, so I have painted over. Haven't regretted any of them except one. Recently I was like, where are those blue flowers that I did? And I kind of scrolled through
Oh
my
my god, you
photos.
forgot. You forgot you painted
Ah,
over them.
I forgot. And
Oh.
I was looking for them, and I'm like, "Ah, shit." I remember. I was like, "Yeah, you never really liked this painting anyway." And then all of a sudden, I liked it because actually someone made a comment on it. So from the beginning, I had this bad feeling about it. There was like a negative comment
Ah.
about it. Not negative, but a comment that
It
made
swayed the way you finished it
it
swayed the way
made it
you
feel like it wasn't finished. It was a
mm.
from another artist who wasn't. Anyway, it rubbed
Ah.
me the wrong way, so I always thought of that when I looked at it, so I did paint over it, and then when I went looking for it, I was like, "Why did you paint over that?" So,
Mhm.
yeah, that was before I was treating my art nicer, so
But do you take a photo before you paint over, or you're just like
yeah, like, I definitely have photos of everything, so
yeah,
I could
okay.
probably go back and make prints, but they're not professional photos like they would be if you took them.
Right. Yes, yes, I will come and
Yeah,
visit you, Donna, if you pay for my flight.
okay.
Um, uh, where can people see your artwork, Donna?
They could see my artwork on Instagram at the moment. I am a procrastinator in getting my website done, and I'm gonna blame my daughter because she can make websites. That's what she kinda.
Look how you automatically went there. It wasn't an opportunity to remind you that you need a website, which you do,
Yeah,
by the way, but no, it was what's your tell everyone your username on
Spatidol. So
Instagram.
my last name, Spatidol, Spatidol. Yeah, and
Lovely.
that
I will put that in the show notes as
thank you,
well.
my dear.
And people, if they wanna connect
If
or
they wanna
reach
connect
out
and
to
make me a
you.
website, that'd be great, yeah.
So so Instagram is the best way to get
Yeah,
to Donna.
yep, for sure.
Do you feel that where you are now, half the time you feel invigorated because it's meaning a whole bunch of new experiences for you, and half the time do you feel drained or unsettled because what you've been used to is no longer there?
100%.
Mm.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, good days and bad days for sure. Yeah, days
Mm.
that it's really exciting, and days that I'll call my daughter and say, "I need home. Where's home?"
Mm.
And so I am learning that home is, like, right here. Like, home is where I am, home is in my heart, home is who I'm with, and a lot of times, most of the time, it's with myself. So I am learning the lesson for sure on this journey is that home is like home is within me. So that's something I'm learning, that home's within me. Ba-dum, boom.
Perfect. That's how I'm ending it. That's my closing
I
statement.
guess
That's
that
my
was something I needed to say. Yeah, because
mm,
like I that's something that when I'm sad and alone, and we're never alone, but it's I'm alone. I enjoy being alone, and people will say, "This is what you've chosen." I have chosen this a lot. I could be in a relationship. I don't choose to be in a relationship with just anyone. So but I have chosen this quiet, contemplative life, and it is mostly being alone. And um, but so I've had to learn that I'm at home and in myself, and that is home. Home is in myself. Yeah. Okay. Love you.
Thanks, Donna.
Again,
That's beautiful.
so you're gonna have to do some serious editing, magic editing. No,
Do you not have faith in me, Donna?
I do have faith in you, but
I tell you everything. Like you've been there for me since we met through the course. And one of my favorite things about our connection is the little Instagram voicemails that we leave each other if I wake up to one. Because when I'm going to bed, you're waking up. Is that's
no, it's
roughly,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I know. I had to get used to that. I was like, okay, 12 hours, add a few. I still don't really know. I just don't. I'm always like, she's more than 12 hours ahead, or yeah.
yeah.
Because
And
today, yeah,
listen to
you're always a day ahead, which is
yeah.
crazy. But yeah,
I told you
I'm grateful.
everything about my life. I tell
Yeah,
you all my dating
I
stories
love it.
and,
I live
you know.
vicariously through you.
Had a couple yourself though, but we won't go into that. And then you're like, "Don't worry, you'll find your Peter Crone one day." And I'm like, "But do I even want a Peter Crone?" "Ah, Donna wants
Uh,
a Peter Crone."
I definitely want a Peter Crone. So if there's any Peter Crones out there, we can
That
link.
can
Can we link Peter Crone here?
Yeah, I will, but if there's any let's really get specific. If there's any Peter Crones out there that can also make you a website, let's,
Oh yeah.
two
Okay.
birds with one stone,
Yeah.
then yes, definitely connect with Donna on Instagram. Thank you so much, Donna.
I love
All
you.
the
Thank
best
you.
with I love you too. All the
Uh,
best with your new roaming adventures, and I hope you find your semi-permanent space
yeah. Yeah.
soon.
Yeah. It might be a semi permanent space for a little while, but yeah. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you for having
Good
me.
luck.
Thank
Good
you.
luck with it all.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I love you.
Love you.
Catch you later.
Okay. Bye, sweetie.
Bye.
Bye.